Yes, ready.
Thank you. ជំរាបសួរ Welcome everyone to our second week of the Scholarship Bootcamp. So this bootcamp is sponsored by DS Educations, and 100% of the sponsorship will go to support students with the university expenses. Okay, so welcome everyone. Next page. So this boot camp is very intense. And welcome back for those who joined our first week. And this week we're gonna do a little bit of the review, and we're gonna start in terms of answering question one. So this session we will be more focusing on question one. Okay. Next, please. Welcome. It's every scholarship is more like a roller coaster journey. It's go up and down. But what I'm hoping for this journey is that everyone get connected. We will do a quick survey after the sessions to see if everyone connected or not. Otherwise, we're gonna form a group for you. Okay? Thank you. Next, please. Okay, so what is our purpose? As you may know, some of the scholarship ask about your purpose too, right? For this initiative, we do have our purpose. So our purpose is to ensure that those who don't have access to know how to write a scholarship essay or have access to connect with the alumni can have this opportunity. With this being said, we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to reach your dream, your university, with by removing all the barrier. With this, we cannot doing alone. We have volunteer, we have a team, and then also we have a supporter. So with this being said, our main supporter are those alumni who volunteer their time, volunteer their energy to ensure that this program is moving forward. With this being said, we're hoping that once you go through the boot camp, and if you get selected by the end of this year or next year, we're hoping that you can support us by being our mentor. This bootcamp again is supporting by our donor, which is DS Education. It's a educational startup company, but 100% of the 100% of the program will be dedicated to support the students. Okay, can you go back a bit, Ali? Yes, more, more. Go back to the left. Yes. So ScholarSpace, how we started it. ScholarSpace started with a few initiatives, but one of which is through Children's Scholarship alumni that we apply the CAP fund called Children's Alumni Program Fund, where it's all of the program that we propose are through website, mobile applications, and podcasts. And we will be launching our website and mobile application very soon, hopefully by mid this month or at the end of this month. Okay. Yes. Next, please. Okay. Our mission and vision. So as you may see, our only goal is to promote higher educations, and our mission and objective is to remove all the barrier and connect people to get higher educations. That's all about it. Okay. Next, please. So with this, those who joined our bootcamp last week already know this. So this program will cover the understanding of scholarship criteria, the essay and training, career development impact planning, and then also one-on-ones and then group mentoring sessions. With this being said, we do have a hard deadline, and we want you to honor the deadline as well. As you may see that all of us are volunteer here, including our mentor. We hope that you help us help you get selected. Okay, next, please. Yes. So these are the boot camp schedule. So we have last week, which is February 1st. This week is February 8th. The next one is the 15th and the 22nd. So with these four dates, we will be heavily focusing on self-discovery, storytelling, and how to answer the four essay questions. And then also we will dedicate one day as well for you all to hear from the alumni from Manaaki, New Zealand's scholarship. In terms of mentorship session, we will start on March 7th, March 14th, 21st, and 28th. Okay, next, please. And we do have a hard deadline for everyone as well. So just to recap a bit, last week we went over the scholarship map, and the map is due on the 14th. The first essay you have last week, this week, and next week. So the first essay would be due on the 21st. The second essay would due on the 7th. The third one would due on the 14th. And the last one would due on the 18th. Among these dates, we will start reviewing. We will start feedbacking your essay. But those who submit on this date will be reviewed. Okay, that's why having a hard deadline is very important, and we would like you to honor this hard deadline. There will be a speed mentorship sessions. It's gonna be on the 21st and the 28th. With this session, you would get to meet one-on-one with the mentor in different breakout room. So this is very important that you get the feedback from essay 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then also get connected to the mentor right before the 21st and 28th. These are when all the mentors join together in different breakout room. So we are seeking 30 mentor right now. So hoping that the 30 mentor can help at least 2 or 3, but that March 21st and 28th is gonna be a hard deadline for everyone, so that the mentor have some time to review before those 2 dates. Okay. Next, please. So for us, we have 3 main persons. We have Bong Niang, who is our main supporter, our advisor. We have myself, and we have Ali, who is our engagement and impact manager. So a lot of time you would hear from Ali a lot, okay? Ali, if Bong Niang is in the room?
I think she's still joining from. I cannot see any participants right now.
Okay. So with this being said as well, everyone, I am a Chevenings alumni, but majority of the time, I do go through a lot of Australian award essay as well. So again, everything that share is based on my personal experience only, and then as well as for the panel discussion is based on the panel experience. We are not an expert, so if you need more resources, we highly recommend you to visit the Australian Award website. And again, we're hoping that one, you get selected. We hope a lot of you will get selected. We're hoping that you can support us by dedicating your time and energy to be the next mentor as well. Thank you. With that being said, I think Bong Liang is not here right now. We're gonna skip a bit until Bong Liang is joining. Yeah, let's get started. Everyone ready? I didn't hear anything. Let's get started. Okay, so who can tell me in terms of what we discover last sessions? Anyone? I'm gonna call on you. Look like there's no volunteer. So last session, we discussed about in terms of what would be the best practices when applying for scholarship. So it doesn't matter what scholarship you are applied to. It is very important to understand who you are as a person, why you are in the field, what need to be done, why you are part of the solution. Okay. So with that being said, we did have a map, and today we're gonna just briefly walk you through the map a bit, and we're gonna focus on how to answer question one. Okay, next please. Yes. So it doesn't matter in terms of how you write your essay, but it is very important that you write it with purpose. And then also you need to understand that you need to have a theme. A theme is a summary of the map that you put together. So we will go over a bit. Okay, next. So the map is something that I designed. It's add-on from what I used to utilize. It's called Business Canvas, but I combine everything together so that you can have a blueprint as well. It's more like a blueprint and framework. Okay, next. Next, please. So, in terms of my scholarship journey, as we discussed last week, it consists of a few things that combine together to navigate you through all the scholarship application. Doesn't matter it's Australian, doesn't matter it's Manaaki or Chevening or Fulbright. Everything is almost the same, just the question itself. But the first thing is to understand that you need to know who you are as a person, what is your purpose of life, and are you part of the solutions, and then how your leadership contributed to whatever field you in. So with this being said, let me recap a bit. We do have the first column, which is problem, gap, and opportunity. In the field that you're in, do you see any problem? Do you see any gap? Or do you see opportunity? With this being said, with this being said, it's also very important as well to understand what is the external problem, gap, and opportunity, and then also what is the internal. External is something that you can't control. Internal is something that you can control and be a part of it. With this being said, it leads you to the next questions, which is part of the solution, right? In terms of part of solution in the field that you're in right now, what have you done? Why it so much matter to you? And then also what are the changes? What would be the result, the impact? What are some lesson learned that you do during the field that you work? And the problem that you saw, or the gap you're trying to close, or the opportunity that you foresee in the future. What would be the next step for you? This next step is something that you list down. For example, my goal is to remove all the barrier preventing students from getting access to educations. So my next step is to promote access to education, but to a higher level, which I can better promote or gather the network who share the same vision and mission, something like this. So scholarship would be something that I aim to do. So what would be my value, principle, where I stand? This is very important. And as we discussed last week in terms of what is your value? What are you stand for? Sometimes you want to work for the government. Sometimes you want to change the government. Sometimes the government change you. Where do you stand? What is your principle, right? Are you part of the solution? Are you able to work or communicate to ensure that whatever your purpose, your goal are being, meet or not? And we discuss a bit in terms of MOS. MOS positive and MOS negative. This is something that I learned from my co-founder from Well. M is stand for motivation, R is stand for resources, S stand for skill. A plus is something that you already have. What kind of motivations, what kind of thing or goal that motivate you to do something in your field? What are the resources that you already have that you have the energy to do it? What kind of skill do you have? And then similarly, we have to take a look at something that you need as well. For example, what are the motivation that you need right now? What are the resources that you need, the skill that you need? That's why it push you to go study abroad. This is something that missing from you. What is it? So you have to identify. This is the roadmap. This is the answer for question one, actually. And then also my supporter and resources. Who would be your supporter? Sometimes it doesn't matter. You write a Chevening scholarship, Australian scholarship, or something similar to these kind of scholarship. You have to balance it out in terms of what can you give as a scholar, as a professional in your field. What can you take? And then at the same time, what are you grateful for? Are you nurture the connections and so on and so forth? But you need to make sure that all the outcome is can be count and uncount as well. Okay. With this being said, Australia also focusing on what your country need as well. So you need to balance it out in terms of where are you, what your country want, how can you fulfill that gap. Just like our speaker from last week talk about the supply chain and then also the um, pharmaceutical gap in Cambodia. With this also it lead to the next column, which is Australian specific solutions. Why? You need to be clear. And then also with your career goal too. Like we asked question last week in terms of if you have money, would you sponsor yourself 150,000 to go for 2 years? What kind of characteristic you looking for and why you should invest in yourself if you were that giving that money, right? And then also try to understand where is your resources channel are. For example, we have this boot camp. The Australian alumni AAAC also reach out to many provinces, host a lot of workshop, host a lot of training, and then also try to find any other resources that you can get your hands on. This is very important. You need to show us again how bad you wanted this scholarship. And then also trying to understand what would be the opportunity cost for this scholarship. Sometimes you need to balance. Only you know what is the best thing for yourself, okay? The Australian scholarship is due coming up, the deadline. The New Zealand is coming up. Fulbright is coming up. The Chevening shortlisted interview is coming up too. Where do you focus in your energy? So this is very important. And at the same time, you need to make sure that you have all the support you need. The support can be many forms. The support can be many sources. First of all, you need to support yourself. How bad you wanted this. The second is from your family. Sometimes you do X, Y, Z, but who can support you with smaller tasks? Do you know how to delegate your work or not? Do you know how to communicate or not? For Australia, you have to get your letter from your employee. Does your employee know it or not? Do you have their support and all those? So you need to understand all of these so that you can better prepare yourself. to do all those. And then also, what is your to-do list? You need to make sure that you plan ahead. When you plan ahead, you can be better prepared. And then when you can better prepare, you have a higher chance. This is very important. What need to be done? What on to your to-do list? That's why we have a hard submission deadline. And again, there are a lot of you. And if you don't submit it by the end of the deadline, we're gonna focus on those who submitted first. It doesn't mean that we're not reviewing your essay application. It's just that we have a lot of people and we want to honor who committed to the program and so on and so forth. What is your expectations? Who is your role model? Especially in the field that you're in right now, and then also outside of your field. And with this being said, be a stalker. What do I mean by be a stalker? Check out the Australian alumni who in your field. What are they doing? What are they stand for? What is their principle? Why they get selected? Study from them, okay? Yes. With that being said, next, please. Okay. So I have a message from Ali that we should take a picture before before we move forward because by the end of the panel, everyone is like gone. Is it okay if we can open our camera and take a quick picture before we continue? Yes?
It will be like a quick one, so it's open for like 5 seconds, and then quick, and then we're gonna post on, share on our stories. Okay, let me change the view. Oh, most of them open. Thank you. Let me wait for 2 seconds, and then if ready, I'm gonna start taking screenshots. Oh, it's nice to see everyone's pretty face now. Well,
Yes. Thank you,
I think
Ali.
today's engaging. Like I hear some of their story at the start of the session, so it's really engaging now.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm
So
gonna
let's
take.
wait.
Okay.
See, everyone kind of
Okay,
their
everyone
profile.
smile. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm gonna change, like we have a 3 page, right? So I'm gonna change to one page one. So it's gonna be like 3 photos,
We took a
right?
picture already. Can we do
Okay,
one more, Ali, with everyone?
yes, well. Okay. For the page one, smile. Okay, the next page, I'm going. 1, 2, 3. And if you want to make something gesture, you can do. Okay, thank you. Another one, the final one. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bong.
Thank you. So, I'm gonna recap again in terms of the best practice of writing the essay. The best thing is to understand that every essay question is connect to one theme. One theme is connect to one purpose. The purpose is connecting to who you are. Okay, this is very important. So having ability to tell your story is important. Having ability to write everything down in different format, in different technique is also important. But that's why you need to write and rewrite and rewrite. Make sure that you write until you understand who you are. Like our speaker last week, he mentioned that he revised 63 times until he got to where he feel that this is him. So don't afraid of writing. Just need to make sure that when you write, you need to show what are the different angle do you see yourself. And then also you need to understand that when you put a lot on the paper, you need to pick and choose which one is the best. Okay? sometimes having people to support you by saying, hey, I have this, and this. Which one you think I should put on? This is also important. That's why having a mentor is very important during this critical period of time of the applications. Next, please. Okay. So in the essay, doesn't matter if Chevening or Australian or New Zealand. So when you describe about your work experience, your leadership, and then also your goal as well, it's always come to some framework. So the framework help navigating you to make sure that you capture all the question that being asked. So with this, I want to share that this is called a STAR approach. So STAR approach is something consists of situations, task, action, and result. So this is very important to share about your leadership, your past experience, what built you to become who you are today. And then also with STAR approach, it is very important that you capture in terms of the impact. What would be the impact, positive impact or a bit of negative impact, or what are you looking forward in terms of not looking forward, but what would be the impact that you've been doing through your leadership? And then also try to capture the lesson learned through the number. Okay. Next question, please. Next slide, please. So if you're talking about the first question, which asked you about the institutions, this is also important to follow the SMART approach too, right? But SMART approach alone can't really capture everything. You need to capture the network, future impact, and lesson learned as well. So we're not gonna be detailed on this, but it is very important to make sure that it's specific, make sure that it is measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound for all of the answer. Make sure that you prepare different answer and make sure that you give more examples so that when you reach out to mentor, they have more option to give you the feedback on. Okay. Next, please. Okay, I think we learned about the do and don't last time already. So Bong gonna skip this and you can read it. Maybe Ali can do the screen presentation in PDF and share with you in the group. I don't mind. So just read it, okay? So okay, now it's come to the first questions in the Australian scholarship essay, which is why did you choose your proposed courses and institutions? So with this being asked, you need to understand who you are is very important again. Just who you are, your purpose, and your theme. So with this, what kind of hope that you can engage the reader, the one who's selecting you to wanting to read more, to understand more. So with the hook, the opening hook, it could be personal, like our speaker from last week mentioned in terms of how she bring in a small problem, which is a personal problem, personal experience in her own family that inspired her to be in the field, that inspired her to be wanting to make a bigger impact, right? Last week we're talking about her story where she shared that she saw her father took a lot of medicine and wondering where that medicine come from, the side effects, the expiration date, and so on and so forth, which inspired her to be a pharmacist, which later inspired her to be in her field where she doing the quality control of the medicines across Cambodia, right? Or we can talk about the bigger problem, come down to a smaller problem. So, as our speaker from last week mentioned about, for example, the challenge of the supply chains uh, in Cambodia, why it is a problem, why usually people overlook that, and how he can better promote uh, export from Cambodia to outside of the country by just focusing on new technology in supply chain, why the product made in Cambodia is so important to him, right? And try to find what would be the simple image that make people remember who you are, okay? And then also I'll try to provide evidence. This evidence can be something that a report, something the statistic, industry gap. So people don't usually remember your story much until it trigger in their brain. Why it trigger in their brain? Because it relating to their problem. They can understand in terms of, oh, this is my problem too. I don't know. For example, I don't know if I taking the right medicine. Is my the is the medicine that I'm taking is is effective? What are the side effects? Is it legally imported and so on and so forth? Is it being went through the quality control and so on and so forth? Or for example, we're talking about the supply chain, why a lot of the Cambodian product are not exporting to export outside of Cambodia, so on and so forth. Like, why are we still a developing country when our neighbor country, Thailand and Vietnam, are moving so fast, and why are we so behind? What is the problem? Could the supply chain be the solution for all the export opportunity, right? Sorry, sorry. Next question, next slide, please. Okay, so the next important component is structure. Structure is very important. You need to walk the reader through the structure. For example, first, second, and third, something like this, on navigating the reader so that they see the structure and they know where to refer to. And then also, you can also frame in terms of question and answer. How do you identify the opportunity, how you implement it, how you maintain it, what would be the result, something like this. So for example, when talking about university or institutions, the gap in your country, for example, or the opportunity in the country, or the existing platform or policy in your country that related to Australia, what the Australian is focusing on. And with that, this is something that you see first, second, and third, or this is how you plan to implement with the education that you gain or the module that you propose. So make sure you answer your essay by through the having a clear structure, okay? Next, please. Also, sometimes it's very important in terms of highlight your again and again what your lack of the opportunity or the gap, why Australian would be the choices that you think is very important, why the institutions that you are interested in is something that would be a part of the solution, would be a bridge that connect the resources, would be the opportunity that Cambodian and Australia would be highly benefit from. Okay, next, please. Direct courses to career alignment. This is very important, where you need to make sure that you know yourself. This is something that you need. This is the module that you need. This is something that align with your proposal in your field. This is something that connect you closer to your goal, okay? And remember, every essay doesn't matter. Question 1 to 4, you need to connect it as a chain that connect one story to the next. By the end of the time that people finish reading your essay, they should be able to identify, to know who you are as a person, what you stand for, why you, whatever you fight for, what is your purpose of life, and you would be the right candidate to solve the problem that align with what Cambodia need and what Australia need and what the society need. Okay. And then with that, you need to show proof in terms of the selecting institution, selecting module, align with your skill, your knowledge, and then also try to understand that within your cohort alone, you will hear, you will see, you will connect with a lot of people who somewhat have the same vision and mission as you are. That's why they're in the same class. That's why they take the same course. That's why they could be your ally when you want to implement something meaningful, not just in Cambodia, but you know, using it as a supportive network as well. Next, please. Strategy, contact, and advancement. What would be the strategy in terms of putting it in your essay? Sometimes it could be a concrete outcome. Sometimes it could be something that you put it in there to spice up your essay, to make people, the reader who understand your the situation that you in, can see the picture. For example, the speaker mentioned in terms of with a new technology that he's studying right now, and what the supply chain policy and the support from the Australian could boost up 70% of export internationally, right? This is also important too. So with that being said, is the institution that he's selecting is part of the solution for whatever he's proposing. You need to do a lot of research. You need to make sure that whatever you put down is actually something that make you stand out among other applicants. Remember, there are a lot of applicants. Okay, next. Okay, strategic return. Make sure that at the almost at the end, you need to understand that why people invest in you, because you will create a positive change beyond yourself. It's gonna go to your your family, your community, and the program that you're trying to solve, the field that you're in. You are part of something that beyond yourself. Okay. And then again, we talk about reciprocal benefit, how the Australian and the Cambodian benefit from you as the change maker in the field. Okay. Next, please. Okay. I think that's it. I'm open for questions. I know we went through a lot. We went through very fast, but this is the time that you would ask questions. And yes.
Hello, Bong. I think one question in the chat, he's asking about is having one Cambodian master degree affected of getting low chance to win the scholarship?
No, I don't think so. Is the master degree in your field is actually similar to what you're pursuing right now, Dalin?
Yes, Bong. My master degree is in teaching English to young learner in a public school, and my future um, master degree by coursework because I want to apply Australian word and I choose digital learning.
I think it actually gives you a higher chance in terms of applying, but this is based on my experience only, okay? Because this is the field, it's very related. It shows that you are going, you know yourself, you know what is missing, and the Australians scholarship would be something that support you to reach your goal faster too.
But I have just graduated, so is it okay to apply
Yeah.
this year? All right, thank you, thank you.
Mhm. So highly recommend you to turn on your camera and ask the question directly. So let's go to Ali. Let's go back to the previous slide, please. The beginning, the hook. Yes. Okay. Anyone have question about the hook?
I don't have any question about the hook, but I want to ask about the third question, um the leadership skill. Yeah, the the third, yeah, especially in the Australian award. Um, for example, I have initiated like several programs, several projects for young learners, and I'm struggling with um, how we select or choose to describe in the leadership question. So
So leadership question is the following week, Adeline.
yeah,
This week we only focusing on the first question is why did you choose your proposed course and institutions? But at the same time, Bong can tell you that the best thing right now is to write down all the experiences that you take initiative or you be a part of that you are most proud of. That's something that you can brag about, like our speaker from last week mentioned, is this is the opportunity to brag about yourself because you are the main character in your own story, okay?
all right. Yeah.
Yes. So write down everything and check in with your mentor, check in with us to see this is something that we also share your view as well, that it is a best example. If you only share with us one, we can only provide you feedback on one leadership. But if you share a few, we can walk you through in terms of which one would be we thought would be best. But at the end of the day, you would be the one who make the decision again and again. ScholarSpace team, and then also mentor are giving advice based on our experience only. You are the person who make the final choice. You are the person who know yourself best. Okay.
Right.
And with that being said, when talking about leadership, we follow STAR approach plus impact plus lesson learned plus a result, and connect it back uh, to what Australia need and what Cambodia uh, preparation to ensure that the need is also recognized in the country and then being fulfilled as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Bong. Yeah, for your insightful sharing ideas.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Can I have Dola unmute yourself, please?
Uh, all right. Thank you, Bong. My question is probably too general, but I want to know some personal techniques or tips how to write a unique responses when we write application essays. Because I know that each person has their trick and techniques, so it's a bit of personal questions to you, Bong.
So for me, I think it would be best to prepare. Like when we're talking about unique response in essay. That's why we're going through one question at a time to share with you in terms of best practices, best framework that we've been using. For example, the STAR approach, the SMART approach, this hook, opening hook, the data that being used. The best thing is just to make sure that you understand who you are, why it's so important to you, why it's so important to the field that you are in, and why it's so important to your country, and why this would make Australian and Cambodia strengthen their relationship into something meaningful. I hope I answer your questions. Yeah. ស្រីបត I'm up to 6, but Sribot, you're talking about a GPA? I don't hear Sribot. Okay, so it's good that you have a GPA of 3.8 or 3.9. I think the overall GPA is 4, which you are doing good, very good actually. But in terms of supporting you with your university application and all those, I believe the UK embassy and I think IDP also support you with this. I highly recommend to take this question to ask our speaker later on so that they can also share based on their experience on. Okay. Is there any other questions?
I think I have one more question. Well,
Yes.
I heard from my friends that our GPA academic background is also important when we consider applying for our preferred scholarship universities.
Yes.
Because if our GPA, let's say it's below 3 or it's below than 3.5, considering applying for like high ranking university, probably not a good idea. So can you clarify about that one?
It's yes and no. It's also depending on the university that you're applying to. And then also it's also about sharing and communicating with them. 3.5 or 3.0 and up is considering okay. But if you have 3.5 and above, that would be also ideal. But don't get discouraged because your GPA is a bit lower than 3.0, because even though your GPA is a bit lower, but your work experience, your dedication, your communication, your English is above. This is something that you can work around and then also communicate to the university of choice that you wanted to be in, that and work from there. But at the same time, give it a try. Okay? Yes. Ali, can you go to the next slide? Structure, in terms of structure. Anyone have question regarding about the structure, how to structure your essay? Won't just talking about the first essay only, okay? No questions? Next slide, please. Resource capacity gap. I think this is straightforward. You need to tell them that, for example, you're talking about quality of education, that is a gap because in the field, in the country, it's missing, but in Australia, this is something that they are famous for. That's why Australian would be something that you want to go, something like this too, right? Next. how the courses align with your career plan? Anyone have question on this? No? Okay, next. Strategic contextual advantage. Why going to Australia would be something that support you, yourself, your field, and your country. So think about beyond yourself for this one. Okay? No questions? Next. No? Next, please. Okay. Kenya, are you ready on?
Yeah, Bong.
Let's see. Is Hangbu is in the room or not?
Yes, Bong, I am.
Hi, Hangbu. Welcome.
Hi, Bong.
Are you go by Hangbu or Patrick?
Can Hang Bù, Bong.
Okay. Kenya on? Sophie?
Yes, Bong.
You go by Sophie or?
I think Kanya is fine.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna stop the recording a bit and then we're